Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson. Blending survival, fiction, and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Chapter 59. He made a point of showing his face around town for the next 2 days. On the third night, Johnny and Jessup accompanied him to Dolores's place. They acted like they were drinking heavily, but the liquor Dolores supplied them was little more than colored water. Retreating to back rooms, they exited to the secret area under Dolores's, where they changed into street clothes and donned ski masks. They were ushered out the back where 2 militia soldiers awaited them with a vehicle. "Hello again, sir," the driver greeted Cole as he entered the vehicle. "Hey, I recognize that face," Cole declared. "We were never officially introduced, sir. I'm Gerald Carson. Not sure if you remember him, but you also helped my partner. His name is Dante Jefferson." "Nice to see you gentlemen again. This is Private Jackson," Cole said, pointing to Johnny. He didn't need anyone to know that Johnny was General McClintock's son, and Private Jessup. "Nice to meet you fellas," Carson stated. "Sir, that's the man commanding the rebels down south," Jessup whispered to Cole. Cole nodded at him, asking Clark, "How's militia life?" He winked at Jessup. Realizing what had happened, Jessup smiled back, nodding approvingly. "Missing Miss Cassidy?" Carson responded. "If all goes right, that will end tonight," Cole answered. They rode on for hours, chatting about the lives they lived before the quake and the experiences they had since, until Cole's radio chirped. It was Chappie's voice, but he spoke in a code that no one understood, and Cole never responded. What did he say, Johnny wondered. Bennett has them all together. He confirmed Cassidy's location. The refugee contacts on the inside are a go, Cole explained, to the relief of all the men. "Sir, we might have a problem," Carson commented as they neared Virgis. He was looking at a federal checkpoint in the road up ahead. "We have no option. We will have to take them out," Cole advised them. "Get ready, boys." Their flashlights pierced the darkness as the soldiers approached the braking vehicle. Just as they came to a complete stop, the men opened the doors and used them as cover to engage with the feds. Cole smiled widely as they overwhelmed the fighters at the checkpoint, but headlights lit them up as they approached the vehicle the feds were driving, like floodlights at a sporting event. The feds had stacked a thick line of defense and the gunners sprayed bullets through the air. "Get back to the vehicle," Cole yelled, knowing it was the best cover they could find. Scrambling to safety, Cole snuck over toward Carson. "You ready to kick some fat ass?" Cole asked. Carson smiled widely but shook his head negatively. He coughed, and blood trickled out of the corner of his mouth. When he took his hand away from his belly, it splurted with blood. "Shit!" Cole commented. Johnny poked his head over Cole's shoulder, wondering what had gone wrong. "Oh, no!" Johnny gasped. Carson's bloody teeth shone as he smiled. "Don't worry about me, boy. I'm going to see my wife again." Jefferson and Jessup returned fire as Carson's life left his body. "Pull him out of the way," Cole told Johnny as he took Carson's spot and fired back against the line of feds. Suddenly, bullets rang out from the dark, flanking the federal soldiers. The distraction split their fire, and spotlights searched the black of the night. "Let's move," Cole told his men, creeping closer and closer to the vehicles in the spots of darkness their disorganized search pattern produced. Using hand signals, he directed them to sneak in between the vehicles. Planting explosives on the transports, they returned to a safe distance. "You want to do the honors?" Cole asked Johnny. "Can I?" Johnny answered excitedly. "Light them up," Cole commanded jovially. Johnny hit the button on a controller, and the vehicles exploded into flames. Cole knew no reinforcements were coming as he watched the explosions and fires ignite in the camp. The riot had begun, and if all went well, it was only a matter of moments until Cassidy arrived. Hearing footsteps in the dark, Cole raised his rifle. "Friendlies," Eli commented, approaching. Carson didn't make it, Cole told him sadly. "Good of you to come, Virgis," Eli stated, recognizing his voice. He walked over to Carson, saddened by the state of the man's body. He was a damn fine soldier. He was happy to be going home to his wife, Cole assured him. "I'm sure he was," Eli admitted. He looked up at the fires in the camp. "Have you heard anything?" Before Cole could answer, a car came flying down the road. It slowed, navigating between the trucks that were on fire. Cole noticed men in the same black uniforms he had seen on the way back from Texas. Who was that? Eli wondered. I have no idea, Cole answered. They certainly were in a hurry, Johnny noted. They had plenty of time to stir on it as they waited for the refugees fleeing the camp to arrive. It's been too long. Maybe we should go in, Eli worried. Give them 10 more minutes, Cole suggested. Eli huffed, tired of waiting, but he was surprised by a familiar voice asking, Looking for me? Cassidy, Eli declared, embracing the woman. While she hugged Eli, she made eye contact with Cole. She let Eli go and approached. Thank you, she declared, lifting up his ski mask and kissing his mouth. As much as he enjoyed the moment, Cole couldn't get the men in the vehicle that drove by earlier off his mind. I have to go, he told her. Now? Why? She wondered. Chappie may be in trouble, he fretted. You got her out too, didn't you? Cassidy accused. I did, Cole admitted. Fuck you, Cole. Did you get my father's body in the ground? She asked. The lake did that, Cole answered. She shook her head at him. There was no time, Cassidy, Cole defended. Take me with you, Cassidy requested. You know I can't, Cole replied. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Fine, but remember, I'm not the one who chose her over me, Cassidy snapped at him. Cassidy, Just go, Cole. Bill's in trouble, and your savior needs you. But remember, if I ever meet her, I'll kill her. Knowing Cassidy was safe, he jumped back in the vehicle Carson had brought them in and put his pedal to the metal. He sped through the dark of the night, heading to where Chappie's team was supposed to collect Erica. As they neared the rendezvous point, he watched the vehicle with the black-shirted soldiers speed by again. But in the distance, he could see gunfire flashing through the dark. They're under attack, sir, Johnny fretted. We're going in hot, Cole stated. Pulling the vehicle to a stop, Cole exited with Johnny and Jessup. Only 2 enemy fighters were left behind, but they were skilled and defended their positions like cornered badgers. Finally finding his mark, Cole dispatched the men. Find Chappie, Cole instructed. They searched the dark. All of their mercenary soldiers were dead. These men were not unskilled, Cole commented, wondering who had trained the men who attacked them. Here he is, sir, Jessup called. He's hurt, sir. Cole ran over, assessing Chappie's injuries. Chappie laughed at him. The motion made him cough. You don't know what you're doing, sir. I know enough to get your ass home, Cole replied. Show me where you're hit. Chappie peeled back his jacket, revealing a bullet wound on his right side. Jessup, get pressure on that. Johnny, bring the car around, Cole commanded. Oh, no. I'm not riding all the way back with the kid driving, Chappie insisted. As he chuckled at his joke, blood trickled from his mouth. Just calm down. I'll get us there, Cole assured him. Johnny brought the car up and Jessup and Cole helped him into the back seat. Johnny sat with him, applying a wrap and keeping pressure on his wound. Cole drove as fast as he could back to Reno. He watched Chappie in the rearview mirror as the desert landscape flew by in the dark. Watching Chappie begin to get sleepy, Cole asked, What happened, Chappie? Erica and her family weren't on the train, he explained. Where were they? Cole asked. I don't know, sir. I figured they went with the militia, Chappie explained. We didn't have much time to think about it. These soldiers drove up with the train. They wore black uniforms and fought like demons. Lucky for me, you're one stubborn SOB, Cole said with a smile, looking at him in the mirror. Chappie produced a slight grin, fading in and out of consciousness. Arriving at Dolores, Cole commanded, Johnny, help me get him inside. He's lost a lot of blood, sir, Johnny commented, hoisting the man up on his shoulder as Cole supported his other side. Dolores threw open the door. Cassidy told me you were coming in hot, she commented, motioning for her doctor to bring the gurney forward. They laid Chappie down, and Cole hovered over him as they wheeled him towards the hospital room. Chappie looked up at Cole, squeezing his hand. It's been one hell of an adventure, Cole, he whispered calmly. Don't do that, Bill. Don't say goodbye, Cole begged him. The medics fell in around Cole, hooking Chappie to machines. Major Virgis, we'll take him from here, Dolores assured him, softly leading Cole away. Cole stood outside the window watching the situation on the other side of the glass grow dire. Chappie was sputtering blood, and tears streamed down Cole's face. He wiped them away as Johnny approached. "Major Virgis, sir?" he questioned softly. Cole looked at him blankly. "What should we do with the car?" Johnny wondered. "Take another vehicle and run it off a very steep cliff," Cole answered. When the young man left, Cole sat down in the chair, thinking of all the memories he shared with the man dying in the other room. His heart was broken. He had lost so much, including the two women he had risked everything for. Rubbing his hands on his face, he pictured the drive to where he had met Chappie. He remembered the line of trees composing the forest and the small trail heading north into the mountains he had seen. Erica's family was out there somewhere, and he was sure those black-shirted soldiers were trying to find her. Chapter 60. Dolores nudged Cole gently as he slumbered in the chair, waiting to see if Chappie would recover. "He's dead," Dolores told him. Cole jumped up from the chair and ran into the room where Chappie's body lay. "No!" Cole moaned. "Oh no." He held Chappie's lifeless hand. Cole stood there in disbelief until finally Dolores approached. She softly touched his shoulder. Cole embraced her, crying for his friend. Suddenly he stopped, straightening himself up. Chappie wouldn't want his death to ruin the day, Cole stated. Dolores smiled warmly. "You're right about that. He'd want you upstairs drinking a beer in his memory." Cole left Chappie's body and walked out into the sitting room. Johnny met him there with a concerned look on his face. One look at Cole and Johnny knew the news wasn't good. "They're here, sir," Johnny told him, avoiding the question he already knew the answer to. "Don't tell anyone, Johnny." "Not yet." This day was not made to mourn his loss, Cole commanded. "I understand, sir," Johnny assured him. The men walked back to the base in silence, but Cole smiled widely as he approached the administrative building. "There he is, Major Cole Virgis. I owe you one hell of a thank you," Barry King declared jovially as Cole approached. Virgis grinned from ear to ear, seeing his old friends free of the confines of that place. "It's good to see you, Barry. Did you get everyone out?" "We sure did. Rydell trained with Erica Moore for years. He had his teams on point," Barry boasted about the young man standing with him. "Is that right, Rydell?" Cole questioned, clasping the young man affectionately around the shoulders. "Erica is one hell of a fighter. We had secret meetings to train our force. I'd stand behind her any day," Rydell explained. Cole nodded at the irony of his statement. "You're not the only one." "Now all I have to do is find her," Cole mused. "We could help," Rydell suggested eagerly. "I know you want to, and I bet you could, but you have to go north and disappear. If you're caught, you'll be shipped to a Central Region prison camp. There's nothing I can do for you then." "We know our options, and we can't thank you enough," Barry told him sincerely. Johnny returned to Cole's side, telling him, "They're in your office, sir." "If you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. Check in with me before you shove off." "Will do," Barry said, leaving to get food. Cole launched through the door to the building and flew up the stairs. Opening the door, Cole's smile stretched from ear to ear. "Well played, brother. I'm so glad you two are safe," Cole told Monroe. He paused for a moment, assessing his and Ginger's condition. "Thank you, my brother." He hugged Monroe tightly. "You know we'll always be a team," Monroe assured him. "You, me, and Chappie." Excited for their future, Cole didn't want to explain that the team was already destroyed. Hiding his pain behind the joy he wanted to feel for his friend, he told Monroe, "You'll always be my brother, and I hope you two have lots of babies and a wonderful life." But Cole's voice turned grave. "You're dead, Monroe." "Sir?" Monroe asked, confused. "It was the only way to get you and Ginger out of the system. A free town in Montana awaits your arrival, but you can never leave there. As far as the world knows, you two died in that riot." "Thank you, Cole," Ginger said with a smile and hugged him tightly. "Trust me, sometimes I'm jealous as hell. But there's work to be done, and right now I have to find a missing family before the feds do." They hugged one another tightly, one last time. "There's no way to thank you enough," Monroe exclaimed. "There is. Go live a free life with your beautiful wife," Cole told them with tears in his eyes. "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir," Monroe cheered, hugging Ginger. The end. Hello and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 465, season 15, episode 59. Hey, Chin, what's up?
Chin's up, y'all.
And we've still got Ellen Kerr with us here from Australia.
G'day, y'all.
Because in just 2 days, we're rolling out for Prepper Camp.
Prepper Camp.
So we're super stoked. You know, it's that family reunion you want to go to. So, yeah. So that is definitely on the list. We're going to talk a bunch about that today. The second block of the audio drama is out and live, so you can listen to episodes 1 through 8. I'm working diligently on the next ones, but, you know, we've got travel plans in the middle here, so stay tuned. This season is going to really get ripping and roaring, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But you can check that out on my YouTube channel. Just look for Changing Earth series, and you'll find me over there. All right, so today we heard the end of Virgis. This was kind of specially crafted just for his book, for sure, and then weaved with the original story. He reunites with Cassidy. Not exactly the best reunion. For those of you who have been following with the audio drama, know how that's going. And Chappie, unfortunately, was really injured in that battle. And then in chapter 60, Virgis loses Chappie, but he gets Monroe out, gets his friends from Peach Springs out. So what a fun story it was to put together. Huh? Yeah. Always. He's kind of living that life. It's like feast or famine life for him. Didn't go too epically, but read the books or keep listening to the audio drama. We'll get there eventually, and you'll get to see where his story goes. It was fun to put together.
Get special edition PDF version from the author where it says end and I have like 300 more pages to go. So I'm ecstatic.
I'm telling you, I don't even know. I'd have to look at it to see like what stories you got there. You might have gotten like original source material. I'm just saying, like my notes and stuff. I sent that to you really early.
I got that deep character development story.
Right? I don't even know what it is. I'm like, I can't
changing
even tell
Swenson's diapers.
Swaddling TJ.
Oh yeah, I wish they would have swaddled them into the river. Just kidding, Doug. Just kidding.
Oh, I'll make sure to let him know when we're out at Prepper Camp.
Swaddled into the river.
I already told him I was taking him into the lake. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Alrighty. So speaking of Prepper Camp 2024, there are so many fantastic classes lined up.
Oh, please.
I mean,
pick 5. Yeah, right.
I know. That's what I was like. This should be an easy day. I'll just sit down and I'll pick my top 5 and like I'll move on. You know, get the Changing Earth research done. No problem.
I sat down twice to do this and failed both times.
Yeah, I stared at the list. I was like,
yeah. How can I shorten it?
Yeah. How do I even pick? So I put the link up in the chat room for those of you that are PBN members and following us on the live chat, or if you're not, you can go back to the live chat and check it out. There's the link to the
class
classes.
Descriptions. Yeah.
And I was telling the listeners, if they see something on there that they're like, hey, you got to go check that out and report back to us, I would definitely try. I'm not going to guarantee it because it might be in a time slot where I'm not available.
Right.
You know, but I think I'll try to get a couple of the people on the show of the classes because mine tend to center on one area from my top 5. So we'll see if we can reach out.
You can see a theme in mine as well.
Right?
That's funny.
Yeah. So I just want to preface my top 5 with the fact that I've had a lot of these people on my show. I've been to a lot of classes in the past there. I've also been to other events, you know, as just as a member there, selling my books and stuff like that. So there's some classes that I didn't pick because
I know, right?
Yeah, I've already done interviews or, there's so many options that you gotta weed out some. So just with that and preface the top 5 with that. So friends of the show that are teaching events, teaching classes at Prepper Camp. I'm teaching the Avoiding Abduction class and Your Body, Your Weapon. I do my self-defense class there. Nicole Wallace, who we've had on the show, she teaches the Firearms for Women and the Home Defense class. Both awesome classes. We did the Home
Great
Defense
classes, yeah.
interview with Nicole. So you can go back through the material, check that out. Ryan Buford, friend of the show. He plays Yuri, Sergey, a couple other characters within the audio drama. He's teaching freeze drying for survival. So, I mean, super interesting stuff. And his plums.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just shut the front door. Those things are off the chain. Like, freeze-dried plums, man. Rick Austin, of course, he does Get Off the Grid starting now. That's definitely one that I'd love to check out. Yeah. The Rifle Setup for Predators, Secret Garden of Survival, the Livestock, Secret Livestock class. So, I mean, all of those, of course.
All the Of Survival trilogy.
Yeah, that would fill my whole top 5 up.
Yeah.
So,
I've gone to that class and read the books multiple times. Those are good.
Right.
They didn't meet my top 5 because I've done it so many times.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Valuable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I wanted, these are definitely worth mention. Survivor Jane does Homesteading Reality. And man, I bet you she doesn't hold back at all in that class.
She's funny.
And I love to go sit in her class just to give her a hard time because it's just the best. So, James Walton is teaching how to turn your neighbors into preppers. Yep. He's total community guy. That's our intrepid commander of PBN. So obviously,
kind of like his stick.
Yeah,
that's
right.
What he does.
He brings us all together. Same with Mr. Chin Gibson, who's teaching the Meshtastic class. So,
technology.
Technology. So we'll get you, obviously, we're going to do a show on it here, and then we're going to go over the Google phones, too, on the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you lined up once
There's
you get
actually a
settled
ghost
down.
phone. Yeah, there's a ghost phone, ghost computer class.
The guy.
Yeah.
He's
pretty cool.
Brian Duff, friend of the show, he teaches mindset, the most important fundamental of preparedness, the survival pyramid. Dave Jones, of course, friend of the show, does a ton of lines.
His dad jokes are the best in his class.
And pretty much everybody does lines now in the show. Rick is even doing a character, folks. So I even have Rick Austin doing a character. Survivor Bones on the show. I mean, it's just epic. So Dave does his nuclear, biological, and chemical defense. I've done his class with him.
Great class, yeah.
Phenomenal class. You definitely got to check that one out.
Yeah, I'm doing it again.
Yeah, his is worth it. They all are. L. Douglas Hogan, he's doing surviving martial law. That's Mr. TJ Swenson, and so that's definitely. It didn't. I will get over there to your class and his class, if nothing more than to just give you guys a hard time. But I'm sure I will learn a ton while I'm there.
You think you're so safe because you're like, I teach a self-defense class, so you'll be Bob in my class and you give me a hard time.
That's right.
I see how you are.
I did. Last year I had Doug come up and I put him in zip ties, dude. I was like, come on up, Doug. Yeah, sitting over there. Yeah. So I put him in zip ties. He's got these long legs trying to get him undone. I had to do it for him. It was great. I was like, come on, TJ. Jordan Smith does utilizing fibers for homesteading survival. Fantastic stuff. I mean, if you want to learn how to make some
she's
fibers.
crazy talented with all that
I know.
sewing, knitting, whatever, all that.
My egg collection bag that I put on, every other day. That's Jordan special right there. So, so those are really my honorable mention, guys. This list is huge, so you can go check it out. You'll definitely want to come next year if you're not coming. It is sold out, but you'll definitely want to come next year if you're not coming this year.
Good. I mean, Black Friday. The tickets go on sale Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
They're cheapest that you're going to get every year, Black Friday.
Yep.
And they're going to be the cheapest that you'll get because they go up every month or so. He bumps
do.
them up in price. Yeah, and then they get sold out.
Yep.
So just
And
Black
don't
Friday,
forget
buy
about a
up.
place to stay too. As soon as you get your tickets, make sure you're looking into a
That's
place to
almost
stay.
the hardest part.
It is almost the hardest part.
You know, as long as you're smart, you can get the tickets. And if you don't get your
place to
your
stay,
accommodations, yeah,
you're gonna be sleeping in a car, sleeping in a motorhome in the parking lot. Yeah. So definitely don't forget about getting a place to stay. Don't think like, oh, I got my tickets, I'm good. Got to get that place to stay. Literally, because we can get them earlier than just attendees. So as soon as we're pulling out, I'm getting my place for next year. So, All right. So let's go into our personal top 5 classes that we want to hit this year. Ellen, what is number 5 on your list?
I picked Win Against Woke.
Win Against Woke.
And let me caveat this by saying I haven't picked anything I've been to before or taught by my friends.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's branching out on the new stuff that's there. That's why I wanted to do the honorable mentions because, we'd all pick each other. I'm coming to your class. It's my number 1. Okay. Yeah. The Win Against Woke class. That looks to be interesting.
Yeah, I have to deal with it every day.
Yeah. Yes, she does.
You're going to go back a winner.
No doubt.
Oh, hopefully.
It's a little touch and go over there in Australia.
Yeah, I hear you. It can be here too.
What about you? Number 5 on your list.
Number 5, imagine that. A technology class. Drones. Post-disaster drones, which I don't even have a drone yet.
This has to be rectified.
I think they're super interesting and could be a great tool, but the price and the I feel like they still put you at some exposure because you got to take off and land, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It exposes your position. So I haven't.
Where's it coming from?
I'd love to have one, but I haven't. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna try to see as much of that class as I can. Yeah.
So my number 5 is the colloidal silver class with Jonathan Gloucester.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I've never actually taken it before, but I used to teach the urban survival class that was like right after his class, so I would catch always the last of it.
People talk, yeah.
Right, and I was like, that sounds really interesting. And Dale and Lisa was always like, oh man, you use the silver orb. Yeah.
Neosporin.
Yeah. Tell her if you want to piss off Lisa Goodwin, you let her know that you're using Neosporin by the bucket loads. Yeah,
everything.
And hydrogen peroxide.
Dale rubs dirt on it, and Lisa loves Neosporin.
She loves Neosporin. It's her fave. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to pick
Jonathan, awesome. He's become a personal friend of our family. So
very cool. Great. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy and does the mushroom classes as well and stuff. So so that's my number 5. Okay, number 4 on the list.
Survival groups for me.
What is it?
Survival groups.
Survival groups. Forrest Garvin. Who teaches it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I think it is Forrest.
Yeah. I've been to that.
And I went to his class in Las Vegas, and he's a wealth of information. Forrest is a unique guy.
He's a character.
He is.
Every time,
he is heart and soul. That guy is like a heart on the sleeve.
For the first couple of years, there used to be a different contingent of There used to be a different contingency of authors that would show up, and Forrest would always go around to the authors and tell them to write me in as a character and kill me.
Oh, nice.
So that's a relationship that Forrest and I have. He always wants to get me killed in a book.
Well, so. I wrote you in, but I didn't kill you, so...
Not yet. Forrest hasn't gotten it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, I knew you before Forrest, so... Yeah. But, yeah, Forrest is just a crack up. He's a good guy, and that'll definitely be a good class, for sure.
Yep.
What about you? Number 4 on your list. Dun, dun, dun.
SEER, the Surge Survival...
Survival, Evasion, Resistance, Escape with David Dietrich. Yeah. That's my number 2 on my list. Okay, where I'm just going to jump because you already called it. But that is number 2 on my list. I definitely want to go to that one. How to Return with Honor, interrogation methods, the psychological and physical effects. I mean, I can always use more fodder for Swenson. So, right up my alley, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I could probably be like a torture person. I've always thought about, well, that would be an interesting torture method. I'm like, why do I think about those things? I don't know.
This is concerning.
You're making us nervous.
Sleeping in this house.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Right? Mm-hmm. Don't worry, you're perfectly safe with me.
Yeah, good thing that, what's his name? Isler isn't there this year.
Oh, yeah.
He teaches
the psychological
warfare.
Yeah, I've done a show with him, so any listeners want to listen to that. Hakeem, he came on the show before, and we did a show on that. So, okay, number 4 on my list is the Herbal Animal Care with Dr. Amanda Cartwright. Awesome. Yeah. I did a show.
Super nice. She's such a sweet lady.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's super nice.
Yeah, I did a show with James Hart on like herbal remedies for your animals one time, and I was very interested because I'm like, of course, if we can heal with herbs, so can they.
Yeah.
Most of that is better flea and tick treatment if it's trick treatment. Jeez. If it's natural. And if you're going to need to herbal heal, well, of course, your pets and your livestock, you got to keep your chicken flock healthy. You got to keep everybody healthy. So I'm definitely interested in going to that one. That's number 4 on my list. Okay, number 3, Ellen.
Meshtastic Comms.
Oh, you did pick Chin.
My goodness.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one, though.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
No, it'll be good. It'll be interesting. It'll get you going, get you up and running.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. The CERT groups are really, really important. And I think that's a really cool place to take it. I've thought so in the past. I have a few things up on my list, but it's definitely a step that I want to make as well. So, that class will be a good one. But I don't think... I might try, but we'll see. You know how it gets.
You got an inside source.
Yeah, loop on it. Mm-hmm. So, okay, number 3 on my list is Guerrilla Warfare with Carrie Elsner.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, I like Carrie.
So I definitely love to have Carrie on the show. The only problem with me is he teaches guerrilla warfare at the same time as I'm doing my abduction class. So I won't actually be able to make it. So that's why I was like, okay, we'll meet him and we'll get him on the show. And we can talk guerrilla warfare on the show because everybody needs to know that. We're just all praying for November, right? Right.
Well, it's
even Australians are praying for November.
It's good information, both offensive and defensive, right?
Right.
I mean, if you were to think of it as defense, if you know how those kind of people think, at least you can be on the lookout, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely ready. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So.
Okay, number 2. Right? Are we on 2?
I did.
Yeah, but if you don't want to know what my 3rd is, you don't want to know what my 3rd is.
Okay, we're on 3rd. Go.
So just because I wanted to go to just because I want to go see Doug's class on Surviving martial law. You just want to dish
Yeah,
him.
you don't have to mention that one. He didn't win he barely won at Family Feud, you know. It was cheating going on for sure. No, that is a good one.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of information.
And he's kind of passionate about that talk too, so yeah.
He's got a lot of information and experience and knowledge and know-how. I would trust him hands down in that time. And his Tyrant series is all basically, it's really creepy as far as his thought process as to how the world forces would play out in that type of disaster scenario. So I did enjoy those as well. We've talked about doing an audio drama for his series as well. So we'll see. We're busy. We're busy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, now that I've done my third, so
okay.
Thank you for letting me like it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't take your ball and go home. All right, Ellen.
Neighbors to Preppers.
Oh, Neighbors to Preppers.
James.
Woo woo.
Intrepid Commander.
Yeah. I mean, James. He's good at what he does. Good guy all the way around. Great father. And if you've never met him in person, it's definitely worth coming out and meeting him. He's a spectacular man. So can't say enough good things about his knowledge as well. All right, what's your number 2?
Travel security. Not like we haven't talked about it before, but it's always interesting to get another person's take on it.
Yeah. I mean, even mine.
I don't know this guy, Mike Murray. I don't think I know him really.
Okay.
But reading his bio, he was in the Navy. He did a lot of traveling for work and traveling for family. So it's always good to hear all the little tips and tricks. So.
I mean, if that's not on Ellen's list, I know she had definitely dabbled with putting that one on the list.
Yeah.
Well, my number 2 is the survival evasion resistance, and you're hey, you teach classes on avoiding abduction and stuff. Like, yeah, if you're not learning, then you might as well go on the ground. So I love to learn more and more and more and add to my repertoire. I always invite input from people, and you just learn so much from everybody. So absolutely, yeah, I want to learn more all the time. All right, drum roll. Number 1.
We skipped him again.
We skipped Jake. No, we didn't. We got his number 2.
I said travel security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
thanks for looking out for me, though. I
messed on my drum roll. It was so good, too.
It was so good.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
There is no surprises for this one. I picked number 1 as travel security for me because I am traveling.
Yep. I knew it.
Yep.
I was like, if this is not on her list, I'm going to be really surprised.
Yeah. There's not really much you can do, but I would like to learn a little bit more in what I can do.
Yeah. Every little like I experienced this or it's always good to put that in your bag.
It is.
Bag it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have some good notebooks if we actually make it all.
Like that YouTube video that I sent you, Sarah. Remember the couple's 18-year-old daughter went on a trip to someplace close by, and she was first trip traveling by herself, and she almost got picked up for like human trafficking.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, she went on I can't tell because they didn't say what the company or conference that she was going to was.
I can't remember that video.
But she traveled from the Midwest down to Texas to go to a conference, and at the airport, some creepy guy tried to approach her and make conversation with her, and he was not an American, and a similar creepy guy with the same accent was at the conference at one of the like meet and greet happy hours.
Weird.
And tried to approach her there too, and they think it was like a team of guys trying to snag
stalker, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like a scout at the airport that would call ahead.
Yeah, that would be like, hey, yep, this person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been a few reports in Australia at the moment about Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to be heads up. And that's why I do the abduction class. I mean,
in college and post-college, young adult life, I was like all over the place.
Right?
I guess nobody
Me too.
to,
I did really stupid stuff. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
like, I've done some really dumb stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Where I was like totally could have been snagged in a heartbeat, And looking back at it now, I'm like, whoa. I got to talk to my kids about this, and other kids.
Yeah, watch that video that I sent you. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's absolutely crazy what this girl was had to go through. And if she wasn't because she was homeschooled, so if she wasn't of the right mindset, she would picked up she would have fallen for the this guy was thinking how cool in a foreign accent let's go to a party like a after hours party and she would have been
why not yeah scary. Okay. What's your number one?
Mine?
Yep.
Urban Breaking Contact with Carrie again.
Oh, yep. I thought about that one.
Urban Breaking Contact. Yeah, so the whole travel security, urban breaking contact, surviving martial law, seer. There's a theme right there.
My number one is the CQB room clearing. I didn't get to do it last year because I was teaching classes at the same time. But this year, Rick kicked me down an hour, which is great, being that I don't like mornings anyway. So I can go to that class now, which I'm stoked. So, that's my top three: guerrilla warfare, survival, evasion, and escape, and CQB room clearing. Yeah.
Where's the world going, right? All of our minds
well, I mean, I've already been training close quarters combat and lots of stuff. So,
have you done a close, an actual class?
Yeah. I trained with this guy in California, and we used to go into town and we would do urban evasion type drills, and then we'd be on tracking teams. And so, but you're in charge of a little quadrant. So you just take notes on the movement that you saw in your quadrant. And then all the teams come back together at the end and compare notes to track this person through the whole town as they went through there. And then we did lots of wilderness survival type stuff. And then we also did the close quarters combat when we were out, by the river and whatnot. And it was really, really beneficial training. And then he had a whole, online program as well. So it was just fantastic training. He's moved up to Alaska now, just kind of retiring and laying low, but we still keep in contact and whatnot. And so lots of good stuff with him as far as how to exit the vehicle, how accurate you are shooting from a vehicle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I ate it up. That was after I first published Day After Disaster, and I just wanted, my own skills as well as real world knowledge for my books, so they're
not
more
just
authentic.
Movies or YouTube, right?
Right, exactly.
Get hands on.
Yeah. So Fletcher was 13, and we used to go out and do camping trips that were all primitive survival and that kind of stuff. I mean, it was great training. So, yeah, he was a good mentor, and. I tried to get him to come down to prepper camp. I'm like, come on, you're coming down this year. He's like, no, I'm not coming down. All right, whatever. So, yeah. Alrighty, well, we have got to break into some Changing Earth news. I see some folks out there in the chat room. Which class do you guys think you would like to see the most? You can put it up in chat. And we'll try and get to some of the classes if you guys are looking at them or whatnot. We'll try to get to some of those classes there while we're there at Prepper Camp. But our schedules get really, really full very quickly. So we will do our best for you. If you see something, you guys can all kind of agree on one. I'd love to hear those notes in the chat if you got any ideas. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Changing Earth News.
survive, thrive. This is Changing Earth News.
All right, so our solar activity today, September 22nd, 2024, is low. There's some sunspots there, but they're not complex. Most of them are small, not really putting off a lot of CME activity. There is a coronal hole that may impact the Earth. And when these coronal holes connect with the Earth, it generally causes earthquake activity, which the volcano numbers are insane. So we'll get there, but we'll have to keep our eye on that as well. The flooding across the globe is the big news of the week. It has been really extreme in some places, and then some people aren't getting it at all. We just had a record, the earliest snow ever in Austria on record, and it accumulated 3 feet of snow, which is crazy. So much for global warming. But we'll keep you posted on the global change that we're experiencing for sure. Changing Earth. On September 16th to 24, absolutely all the hot spots that we look at all lit up at once. South America, North America, Middle America, the Pacific seaboard from New Zealand all the way up to Russia. Central Asia was lit up. Really, Africa was the only thing not showing an earthquake. There was even an earthquake in southern Australia on the 16th. There's 416 earthquakes that day that were 2.0 or bigger, the biggest of which was a 6.3 in the North Pacific Ocean. There was a 6.6 earthquake off the Canadian coast, but they downgraded that to like a 4.7, which was interesting. So I just love to see them playing with numbers like that. But when it first came in, they were talking a 6.6 off in the Cascadia subduction zone. I think they're trying to like keep that quiet. Oh, everything's okay. Life is normal. South Carolina, normally only 15 earthquakes per year. This year, you guys have had 37 down there. So, rocking and rolling a little bit around the North American Craton. Texas is in the same boat. We've had a bunch this year. Eastern European flooding, 6 people dead in Romania, 5 people dead in Poland, 1 person dead in the Czech Republic, 3 people in Austria, and thousands of people have been evacuated. It has been a very, very sad event over there, and basically now they have to dig the towns out. Back in the day, like Sacramento had a really bad flood. They would just make that like the new bottom floor, and they wouldn't worry about digging the mud out. They didn't have the equipment to do it, really, right? But now that we have excavators and all this stuff, they go in and literally have to dig these towns out of the debris from these floods. It's absolutely incredible. China is bracing for impact with Typhoon Bebinka, 250 kilometer per hour winds, which I believe is like, I think it's like 90 to 120 when you're talking miles per hour when you do the conversion. Houses, cars getting blown away. Biggest typhoon they've had in 75 years. Switzerland and Austria were hit by that heavy snowstorm. The Southern California fires are still burning. September 17th of 24, 360 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, so it really came down as far as the earthquake pressure going. 5.2 in the South Pacific Ocean near New Zealand was the biggest one. That was the day, though, there was a 5.1 earthquake that rocked West Texas. It was on the west side of, I just had it on the tip of my tongue, too. Our new little Hollywood, right up from... all I can think is Austria now, but it's not. Austin. Right outside to the west of Austin, Texas. That's what I get for not putting in my notes and just assuming I'd remember. The Czech Republic, seriously, a lot of damage from this flooding. North Carolina has been having flooding on the beach areas. Zimbabwe, they're still talking about culling these animals. They're down to 200 elephants that they're talking about killing. And I was like, can we like fly the elephants out of there or something? Do we really have to? Come on. I mean,
you got a Cessna and you're gonna.
I mean, can we call up Elon or something?
Well, they gotta eat.
Be like, yeah, I get that, right? So you have a big population, you're controlling hunting, whatnot, but like, man, 200 elephants.
Well, that's what happens when you get rid of all the farmers.
And you just have the elephants?
Mm-hmm.
Now? Well, okay, so that's happening. September 18th of 2024, there was 351 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.3 in New Zealand again. 5.2 earthquake happened in Madagascar. In Singapore, there was a rare mini typhoon. It blew away buildings and people. And Miami is actually nearing the worst drought it's had in 22 years. So if you can believe it, all that rain and then still in drought, I'm just so confused because they've just gotten walloped in Florida at the beginning of the year. So it's just highlighting like the extremes in one small geographical area of what's going on, you know, as far as the planet is going, just one extreme right next to the other. September 19th, 2024, there was 326 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.6 in the Bismarck Sea. Kilauea volcano had an eruption period again. Portugal wildfires started, 100 plus uncontrolled fires. So far, 7 people have been killed by those fires, and they're not nearly under control at this time. So it's definitely an unfolding situation that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Also, still burning in South America, Brazil, the Bolivian fires. So they're having a big problem with it being so dry down there that the forests are burning down. September 20th of 2024, there was 323 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.2 in the South Pacific Ocean near Tonga. Massive flooding in northern Italy. So the rain, all of the water moved down as, you know, water flows. And so flows down from northern Europe or from Central Europe down into Italy. And within one day, you're looking at a house. Here comes the water. And by the end of the day, all it is a chimney sticking up out of the water. It was absolutely incredible to see. It was the aftermath of Storm Boris plus all of the rain up north that did it. 24 people have died in that flooding situation. The water is still on the move. Budapest, Hungary's capital, is now having massive flooding alarms. Pawnee, Oklahoma, back here in the States, was hit with a powerful storm. 2 people unfortunately lost their lives in that. There was wildfires in Safed, Israel. That was from a Hezbollah rocket launch causing wildfires there. In Luhansk, Russia, they're still dealing with wildfires. That's now spreading into residences. And I'm sure I slaughtered that name, so I'm so sorry for anybody who lives there that's listening to this show. September 21st, 2024, there was 334 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.0 in Argentina. There was a 3.0 in Malibu, California. So West Coast is still on big alert for a big earthquake to hit. It's been very, very much on the active side this year. So hopefully it's just releasing that pressure and we won't see a big one. Poland trying to dig themselves out after the flooding. And Nigeria, the situation got even worse as far as the flooding there. They had to open up this dam in Cameroon or else the water was just going to topple it. So now millions more people there have been affected by this flooding scenario. Just absolutely incredible stuff if you go on YouTube and look at what's happening to these people. There was a tornado touchdown in the UK by Aldershot. Storm system bringing the first snow into the Rockies, and then the wildfires started in Peru as well, down in South America. So it's big troubles down there. We needed to take like all that rain that hit the central or northern hemisphere really and spread it down to the southern. The only one that I have that's really southern hemisphere gone wild is South Africa on September 22nd. Today they got buried in a snowstorm. Thousands of people are stranded, and that seems kind of unusual for this time of year too, but you guys are going into spring in the southern hemisphere, so.
Yeah, we are.
Right? So that's like a weird late snow for them.
I mean, we had, where I live, we had snow last week, I think.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have snow this time of year.
Right? So it's really interesting what's going on. We've got to keep our eyes peeled for sure. 375 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger today, biggest of which was another 6.0 in Argentina. Japan got hit by the flooding today. There are 6 people missing in that flooding event. Over 44,000 people have been evacuated. Tropical storm or potential hurricane Helene is likely forming in the Gulf of Mexico, so that we're going to have to keep our eyes on that. And in Zambia, again, in southern part of Africa, they are having their lights go out because there's no water to run the hydroelectric plants. So definitely crazy things going on our planet right now as far as breaking the norms. As far as the volcano numbers, we have 36 volcanoes actively erupting on our planet. The most I've ever seen, ever, in recording. It just keeps going up. It's crazy. Like 28 used to be a lot. So one did fall out of minor activity and one did fall out of unrest. So overall, we lost one volcano, even though one more is erupting than last week. So we have 91 volcanoes on our planet showing activity. Campi Flegrei is still making a lot of noise, too much noise to be comfortable with. We're just seeing a lot of ground uplift there, and it's definitely eyes on that volcano. That is a big super volcano, so it could be at a little eruption event, or it could be very big trouble. So definitely have to keep our eyes on that. Most of the activity is happening in Indonesia, but the Pacific Rim along the Russian side has a lot of unrest going on. As far as U.S. wildfires, we're at a level 4 preparedness level. We have 39 fires actively burning right now. We have a total of 1,663,000 acres on fire. Last week it was 2,400,000, so we've lost like 800,000. So that's some major work going on. One of those fires is contained. Number 1 state on the list for wildfire activity is California. There's no new fires. 5 large fires burning. 561,000 acres on fire. None of those fires are contained at this time. Idaho is number 2 on the list with 10 fires actively burning for a total of 376,000 acres. None of those fires are contained. Oregon is number 3 on the list with no new active wildfires. 15 fires actively burning for a total of 341,000 acres on fire. None of those fires are contained as well. And then number 4 on the list is Wyoming with no new fires, 3 fires actively burning, 29,000 acres on fire, and one of those fires is contained. I had to keep going until I got one that was contained. So, goodness gracious, at least it's dying down. When the cooler weather starts coming in and things like that, if they got some rain, it would be spectacular. So hopefully with this new storm system, they will. But it's looking pretty good for the northern hemisphere. Not so good for the southern hemisphere, South America right now. A lot of wildfires there. So, alrighty. Well, that's the Change in Earth news. Chen, I will see you in just a few days.
Few days, I know.
Yeah.
Same here.
Prepper camp bound.
It'll be a weekend.
As far as the show goes, obviously we'll not have a live show on Sunday. We will have a live broadcast. We typically do have a live broadcast from Prepper Camp. You can listen to that on Prepper Broadcasting Network. And then I usually do a replay of it on my show for that following week to give us a little bit more recoup time. So that's what the Change in Earth schedule kind of looks like. When we return to business as normal, we'll be taking some of the survival topics out of season 3 of the audio drama. So you can get listened up on that to get prepared for what's coming up. Well, that's all I got for you. You can check out the new covers, the new merchandise, all the great stuff over at ChangingEarthSeries.com. That's ChangingEarthSeries.com. And until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.
Thank you for joining Sarah and Chen for this episode of the Changing Earth podcast. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Day After Disaster, Without Land, The Walls of Freedom, Battle for the South, Dark Days in Denver, and The Endless Night at www.authorSarahFHathaway.com. If you love the Changing Earth series and podcast, become a supporter while you're there.